What is something perfectly legal that feels illegal? Trying to lockpick my own house cause I can't find my key. I'm a landlord and have had to break into my own properties many times. Only once were the cops called. My little brother is a type of guy to crack open a Gatorade to quench his thirst, browse around the store, and then check out the empty Gatorade bottle at the end. My mom did that with ice cream when we were kids, so we'd have our sweets and shut up about wanting anything else. She'd place the empty wraps on the belt for checkout. Cashiers never had a problem with it, as long as the barcode was intact and some other parents actually liked the idea. Ice cream equals best pacifier in a store full of sweets. Taking many napkins from a cafe restaurant and pocketing them to use as tissues. Pro tip, Starbucks and Chipotle have the best ones. McDonald's can be rough on the nose. My husband is obsessed with the high quality of the Chipotle forks. He keeps a bunch in his car for fork emergencies. Going through a metal detector always gives me anxiety, even though I usually have nothing to hide. Taking more than one free sample. I always make sure to bring my fake mustache and hat. That's 4 free samples. Normal you mustache plus hat you. Turning left from a one-way onto a one-way with a red light. Taking a free sample of food when walking past a food vendor. Obviously they are offering it for free and obviously there are no laws being broken, but I just cannot help but feel guilty. So I stand there after eating said sample and pretend to deliberate if I plan to purchase a meal there or not before slowly walking away once I've lost the attention of the guy handing out the samples. They don't care. I don't think they are looking to make a profit on the stand for the day. They are trying to get their product into as many hands as possible to hopefully have a small percentage success rate of lifetime customers. Walking through nothing to declare at the airport and having a nagging concern that just maybe you managed to pack 5 kilos of cocaine, a handgun, several tons of pest-infested fruit and 2,000 cigarettes over the tobacco limit. Going into a store to use the restroom without buying anything. Oh man. The other day I was experiencing a #2 emergency, so I went into this little grocery store, but couldn't see the bathroom. So I asked the customer service person, and she tells me it's over in the dairy section. Keep in mind, that is the opposite corner of the store, so I'm speed walking as fast as I can hoping to not poop my pants, and then I hear her on the intercom customer service to dairy, and I'm like what the duck? I just talked to customer service, why are you sending another one over there? And then I get there and I'm trying to open the door and this young kid comes and says yeah I just got her unlock that for you. So I'm standing there trying not to let this poop run down my leg before I get to my final destination. Ducking awful. Having something of yours in your pocket while in a store that also sells that thing. Feels the same as walking into a store and then leaving without buying anything. No, seriously, I was just checking my checking account balance on your ATM. I'm not stealing anything. I sometimes feel that guilt when I walk into a store, especially if it's a small family-run business. I walk around looking at all the cool things, but either nothing really calls to me or I can't afford the things that do. So I feel guilty as I walk out as I did really enjoy browsing the store, but they got nothing for that enjoyment. I need to get over myself. Close bracket. Filling out government forms. I answer honestly, but constantly feel like I'm going to misinterpret a question and somehow commit some manner of bureaucratic felony. Edit. Damn. Thanks for the upvotes and the metal. Mysterious benefactors are the capture effect, where things you've understood implicitly and without error all your life suddenly become the world's most difficult questions. Does that count as a sign? Are those street lights? Does that count as a car? Bringing home a newborn infant. Edit. First gold. Thanks, stranger. Driving when near a cop. Everyone in front of me feels the same way. Speed limit of 80. Everyone cruising at 85. Cop passes. Lights off. Everyone shows down to 75. I've had cops tell me they can't stand that. They want to go places too and everyone around them starts driving 10 under. Cannibalism, if I'm not mistaken. Joining a cult. Starting a cult. Stockpiling firearms as a cult. Walk into an Ulta beauty store and spraying some expensive cologne from the tester bottle before going to your interview. Update: no, I don't overdo it. I like light smells. Too heavy and I get a headache as well. Something that's fresh, because I want to feel like a new car going into an interview or a date, or wherever I have that's somewhat important, or gives a good first impression. I once went into Ulta and left with a full face of makeup from trying new things. I didn't buy anything and probably would have felt guilty, but I was tipsy. Calling a teacher by their first name. Like it's not illegal but it's illegal. Adjusting your penis when it gets scrunched up against your inner thigh on an airplane. I was on a flight this past Monday, middle seat between two I was worried that, if I did adjust, that I would end up on our public. Freakout was not a comfortable flight to say the least. You cold got up and used the bathroom or something. Driving 250 plus km/h on the German autobahn. Especially when crossing the border from another country and you can drive so much faster that you're used to from the country you made holiday in. The autobahn is ducking terrifying. I remember when my ex let me drive her car for a while. I pulled out to pass someone, just as I noticed a BMW in the rear view mirror. By the time I'd pulled back over into the slow lane, it had already gone flying past me. Truly insane speed. It felt like I'd stumbled onto a Formula 1 track by accident. Yeah, some people really floor it. Interestingly, the distance adjusted death rate is quite a bit lower on the autobahn compared to generic routes. It's routine on the autobahn for police to ticket for people driving slowly in the left lane. As long as everybody follows the rules, it works out safely, and the Germans are sticklers for following the rules. When my wife and I were in Munich, we were using public transport to get around. We buy our train tickets and walk towards the designated track. We both realize that we didn't go through a turnstile or anything. We actually walked back up the stairs to make sure we didn't miss anything. I looked it up, and the trains basically run on the honor system. They trust that you buy a ticket. Sure, a cop could pop on and ask you for your ticket, but we rode around for 3 days on those trains and never once got asked anything. Silly Germans with their free college, universal health care, and trust in their citizenry. Edit. Apparently this is fairly common in places. Most of my public transportation experiences with New York City subways and Metro North, all southern New York systems. They definitely don't let you just ride a train without checking your tickets. Cool to hear about other places though. Taking somebody else's full cart of food at the grocery store. You can literally take anything from anybody's cart before paying. Thanks for doing my shopping. Can you get your kids out please? The Yellowstone Zone of Death is the name given to the 50 square miles, 129, 50 km to Idaho section of Yellowstone National Park in which, as a result of a loophole in the Constitution of the United States, a criminal could theoretically get away with any crime, up to and including murder. Wikipedia. It's the open PvP zone. Nice. When someone orders a pizza for a group and you take the last slice. Buying alcohol for the first time when you turn 21. In the UK you have to be 18 to legally drink alcohol, so when I turned 18 back in 2014 I bought my first pint, but felt like I was going to court drinking underage despite having a provisional driver's license. Having sex with animals, legal in 11 states in the US. Hi, I'm from Kentucky and we recently passed a law making bestiality illegal with a decent amount of pushback. Sounds unreasonable, I know, but a lot of the pushback was from farmers who weren't ducking their livestock. The bill wasn't clear enough and, depending on interpretation, could have criminalized artificially inseminating livestock, which is a very large part of the industry. There's your fun fact of the day. Imagine being that guy, hat in hand, speaking at the city council about how you disagree with the bestiality law because your job requires putting semen into animal vaginas. Just not, you know, in that way. Using a VPN. Maybe not illegal exactly, but I definitely feel a little shady about it. Marrying your first cousin. In a lot of places, that is definitely not legal. Well, it's legal in all of South America, Canada, Russia, Middle East, Oceania as well as Western and North Europe. Only in some states in the US though. Edit. Fun fact, Einstein married his first cousin. Edit. Fun fact, Einstein married his first cousin, and if he had posted on Reddit about it, he would have gotten 100 dumb meme responses about him being a hick from Alabama. Expressing my opinion on Reddit. Hiring a private investigator to stalk someone for you. Driving around a legal recreation state fully aware of the weed I just bought, my dab pen, and a new bong in my backseat uncovered and perfectly safe from being arrested for any of those. Still can't get over it, lol. Basically the entire our unethical life pro tips subreddit. Cannibalism is legal in the US, provided you can find a legal way to get the meat. There was a guy who ate his own foot after having it amputated who did an AMA a while back. Yeah. The rules I know about it are 1. The one you're cannibalizing must consent to. The one you're cannibalizing must be alive at the time you draw the meat. 3. The one you're cannibalizing must not be killed by the process of removing the meat. So basically, an amputee whose leg just got cut off can consent to others eating it. Pigeons on the street don't belong to anybody. You can just take them. Robinhood infinite money glitch. I think, technically, that is illegal because of some secretary regulations that they're massive duck-up allowed violations of. Flying with a gun in your checked baggage. Telling the Walmart greeter no when he asks to see my receipt. Carrying an open container of liquor in some cities. We walked around New Orleans with an open bottle of rum because it was cheaper than buying shots. I live just outside of the French Quarter and it really ducks me up when I travel. I was at a bar in Kansas City like 10 years ago and I lit a cigarette and the bartender yelled at me that there was no smoking allowed. New Orleans is that way now, but I quit anyway, so I took my beer outside. She chased me down like I stole it and said I had to leave my beer inside and did not laugh at all when I told her to only put 1 Quaalude in it. 30 minutes later I forgot this silly rule and brought my beer outside again while being proud that I remembered to smoke out there, and she chased me again. So I said, "Shit, I'm sorry, can I get a go-kart?" To which she replied, "Yeah, know what? If you're gonna be a smart ass about it then just get the duck out." The rule I'm used to is you can drink outside, but you're not supposed to have it in a glass bottle, so every bar has plastic go-cups. It was my first time drinking outside of New Orleans. 210. I don't recommend drinking in KC. Taking your baby home from the hospital. Trying to shop at Ulta without a full face of makeup. I look presentable, but I still get followed and asked over and over again if I need help. Sometimes by the same employees. They actively watch you and make you feel as if they think you're a thief. I understand that it's part of their job to help and check on us, but that's not what's happening when the same employee in a management position follows you and asks you for a third time within 10 minutes if you're finding everything okay. I'm clearly looking at the products. My hands are even held together behind my back because I always get that vibe when I go in. Leave me alone and please let me look for a skin cream.